Hi, I'm Rebecca Chaplin. I am a journalist and I mainly write about car dealerships and auctions. So today I'm going to be answering some questions from Motors.co.uk readers about that whole buying process. The first question I've got here is, do I need a valid driving licence to buy a car, and what other documents would I need as a buyer? So buying a car doesn't necessarily mean you're going to drive it. So you don't actually need a driving license to buy a car, but you're probably going to need it for a few other stages along that buying process. So when you apply for insurance, you're going to need a driving license number, and you're also going to need some form of identity so that the person who's selling you the car can check you are who you say you are. Other things that you might need, you're going to need to make sure you're insured properly, but you don't need to necessarily take that along when you buy the car. You can do that on your phone, like on the internet, or by calling them up pretty quickly these days. And you're also going to need to tax the car, but if you're going to a car dealership will be able to help you with that. You probably need to worry more about the documents you're going to leave with. So you should leave with either the V5 green slip, or you can do that online now as well. So you'll get an email through confirming the change of ownership. And you're also going to want to make sure that you get all of the service history that's available, any documents, receipts someone might have kept, just because it's useful further down the line. And also make sure you ask for any spare keys or locking wheel nuts, because they're the most annoying things when you realise you've left without them. So our next question is about asking for money off the price. Yeah. Is it rude? I always feel a bit scared to negotiate on price when viewing a car, but is this expected at dealerships, and is there a realistic percentage off the price to ask without seeming rude or time wasting? This is a bit of a tale as old as time. People think they need to negotiate when they're buying a car, but actually buying a car these days is a lot like buying anything else. When you go into a shop and you're going to buy a toaster or a microwave, for example, you don't go in expecting that you're going to have to negotiate with the salesperson about how much you're going to pay for it. And actually car dealers spend a lot of time working out what the price should be for their cars. So they don't do it to try and catch you out. It's probably the best way to go into it. Don't go into it thinking a car dealer's trying to catch you out on the price. There might be some room for manoeuvre. If you are looking for some extras, maybe that's usually a better route to go down. Cars are like houses at the end of the day. So house prices change daily and car prices change daily, and the car dealer is the person who's equipped to be able to check those things most effectively. But what you can do is a bit of research on your own. If you take a look on websites like Motors.co.uk, you'll be able to see that there are a range of different prices for cars, and that's where it can be quite confusing. Why is one car worth so much more than another? But going back to that house analogy, if a house is a bit tired and needs a bit of work, you're more likely to pay less. Whereas if it's got a brand new shiny kitchen, it's probably going to be a bit more expensive. So it's worth looking into the details, what actually is in the spec of that car and what do you need? Because at the end of the day, the car you buy should be the car that you actually need. Don't pay extra for spec that you might not necessarily need, even though it probably will help the value further down the line. And just things like that, and going armed with that information will help you. And so our third and final question, do used cars come with warranties? Well, yes, a lot of used cars do come with warranties, but some of them don't, is probably the easiest answer to that question. What you need to be aware of is that there's something called the Consumer Rights Act, which gives you 30 days where if a car isn't as it should be, so if it turns out that actually something was broken, which you didn't realise about, or something goes wrong in those first 30 days, you can go back to the dealer and say, this was wrong, we need to sort this out. You can either say the car's not fit for purpose, but usually a dealer will be happy to help you out free of charge, but you do need to go to them first with that information. You can't just go to another garage to get that fixed and expect that the dealer's going to pay for it. That's not really how it works. But going back to your question before about whether you can negotiate on the price, warranty is something that sometimes you can negotiate on, and it's probably worth it, because at the end of the day we are talking about used cars and things go wrong on cars that you can't necessarily predict. Some dealers will include a free warranty, but definitely check how long that's for, because sometimes when things say free warranty included, that actually means like a couple of months and it doesn't cover you for very much. Others will offer you maybe 12 months, maybe even more than 12 months in some cases, and it just gives you that extra bit of protection that you're going to be looked after. It's definitely worth taking out a used car warranty if there isn't one on the car. They are quite easy to get hold of and affordable, but it just gives you that extra bit of protection should something go wrong that you're not going to have to necessarily fit the bill. So thank you for listening today, and hopefully I answered some of your questions. If you've got questions you want to ask me, you can head over to Motors.co.uk and let us know. Hopefully we'll see you soon.